Hope you like the little intro there with some flashbacks from previous edits I made. It's been a little while since you've heard my voice here. I think last commentary I made was, what, 2-3 years ago at least. But today I'm here with a tutorial. I've had this video requested a bunch of time over the years, pretty much ever since I dropped my Avenge RC, which had really my first out of map sins. So yeah, I've been asked to make this video a long time, and I was clearing up my PC. I literally have hundreds of gigabytes of out of map sins, and I figured before I delete all of them, I might as well show people how I got them and the spots for the different maps. It's gonna be pretty quick. I don't think it's gonna be a super long video. There's essentially 3 different methods. Not every method works on every map, and the first method works on host and off host as well, but the method number 2 and method number 3 will not work if you are host. So you'll need someone to host for you, or what I did a few times is I would boot my Xbox 360, join a lobby from my Xbox One to my 360, online, not by LAN, and then it would work. So method number 1 is the easiest one. It's really just you go through a certain wall in the map and it will get you outside of the map. As far as I know, it only works on 2 maps, Anvil and Overpass. You can do it by yourself, you don't need anybody to host for you, but if you do so, that means you have 2 bots in the game that will be shooting all the time. So you might want to have someone host for you, or have like your second Xbox with 2 controllers, just AFK. So essentially, like we see here, I'm going through this wall on Anvil, and then I'm trying to go downwards because this is where the outside of the map is. And once I kind of make my way through there, I'm able to go further around the map and have some more interesting perspectives. This is, I think Anvil is a pretty cool map. I got a bunch of sins for Barry's trailer from there. Now for Overpass, quick disclaimer, the last time I tried it didn't work, but what you're going to want to do is go on the blue side pawn, we see here with the flags, and what you'll do next is just go in one of these windows here. Right now there's an invisible wall that's blocking you, but typically you could just fly in through them, and then you would fly up towards the cage looking ceiling, and then you would be able to go right through it. It was really important to go through one of these windows and not through directly inside of the spawn like this, because if you would go directly through the roof like this, it wouldn't work. It's really, you would have to go from outside and then back using one of the windows. Alright, so for method number 2, there's a few things to note. You'll need at least 1 player, ideally 2, so that you don't have bots shooting around the map. The second thing to note is you cannot be host. This will not work if you're host. Also, the other thing is you have to stay on the camera of the player until he is at the right spot. Once he is at the right spot, now you can press X to get out of ghost cam, but not before. And if it doesn't work on the first attempt, you'll need to quit the game and then load it back again, because it won't work if you try a second time. So those are really important, because you might be wasting your time if you don't have those things in place. That being said, this technique is not too difficult. You'll get comfortable with it pretty quickly, but it is quite tricky because you have to be really at the exact right spot on the map. Speaking of maps, this will work on Azura, Bulletmarsh, Clocktower, Cove, Depths, and Escalation. So we'll kick it off with Azura. FYI, you might know this guy. This is the OG Avenge Saturn. He's the one who showed me a couple of these maps to start with. Right now we're on Azura, you'll see we have to get to this exact specific spot and then turn your back to it. You'll see now, if you take a moment to pause the screen, the camera looks exactly the same, the ghost cam right now, as it would on his screen. You see, I see the full back of the character, the camera is in a normal view, I still see the hips as well. Like, yeah, the camera is really, if you would be playing the game, that's what you would see. And you'll notice also, I stayed on his view the whole time. I didn't ghost cam, I haven't like cycled through players, I haven't cycled through different like static points in the map. I really stayed on his view and stayed there. And now he's getting in place. He's really, like, the angle is really important as well, and you'll see he's adjusting a little bit, and then I'm trying it, just pressing X, and it launches me right outside of the map. Right now I won't be speaking much, but you'll see there's a few other maps that work like this, and I'll be showing the spot right now. So you see still camera against the back, we see the full back of the character, and then we're trying to press X and we're out of the map. Then if we go to the next one, he'll go at the spot, and you notice this one still, sometimes when he's changing the angle, you see the camera goes closer to the character and we don't see the full back. This is not good. What we want is really the back against an object, but we still see the full character. He's gonna play a little bit around with it, and then it's gonna work out. Then this one we have depths. This one is really cool. I never really did anything with it, but this one's pretty different. Earlier I said it could be an object that would block your back, but I mean, in this case here, it's kind of like the invisible wall. He's just adjusting now the camera, and then we'll try it. Alright, so method number 3, it works with 2 players. You'll need them at really specific spots in the map, and then you'll be cycling the camera between them and trying to press X at the right time to get launched outside of the map. This will not work on host, like I said before, so make sure someone else hosts for you. A good thing about this technique is that it will work on any map, and you can try it as many times as you want. You don't have to restart the game. If I was to suggest one map to start with, I would really highly suggest going with Oldtown or Gridlock. These are really the easiest one to do. Other ones like Hotel, Drydock, Sandbar were really difficult to do, and you really need to like nail the camera switch technique before you're able to get out of these maps. You'll see now we bring the 2 characters in place. We have Carmine at the top spawn, and we have the Locust at around the snipe. You'll notice there's a portion between them that's kind of outside of the map, and both of them have their back turned against the edge of the map. So the camera being behind the characters, when we'll be toggling the view from one to the other, at some point the camera will not appear and disappear at the other spot. The camera will slide from one to the other, and doing so, since they have their backs turned outside of the map, the camera will be sliding outside of the map, and you're gonna want to press X at that exact time so that the camera gets sucked outside of the map. It seems kind of weird explained like that, but you'll see right now I start pressing RB, and this is the first time I attempt this, so it doesn't really work that well. Right now you see I'm doing it too fast and it's just changing the views. What I want to do is kind of try to do it at a constant pace and try to build some rhythm. and press X while I'm holding the left thumbnail backwards. That is because the outside of the map is in the back of the camera. So you see now I'm pressing RBX, 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 and when I'm getting a good rhythm, you can kind of see, you know, the blue outside of the map. We're kind of below the map a little bit. So this is where I'm kind of starting to get the rhythm right. You can do it by just pressing RB, and you can also do it by pressing RB, LB, RB, LB, RB, LB. And when you see that the transition, the camera transition is kind of gets smoother and not really so clunky, that you kind of have like a constant movement and flow in the visuals, then that's when you want to press X. So like I understand it's not super easy. It took me a couple minutes to figure out, and then the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and you'll see at some point it's really easy and you're able to do it almost on the first attempt every time. Now I'll show you what happens when you don't have the exact right spot, or when you don't have, you're not starting the motion with the right character. So you see here, I'm trying to start with the Cantus, but it's not the right character to start with. So whenever I'm pressing the RB and X combination, the camera kind of like gets stuck always, and it will just, you know, kind of get stuck there and do the same movement. So that's not good. In that case, that means I need to start with Anthony Carmine, which is the other character. And now you'll see I don't have quite the right spot, but I'm still able to see outside of the map. So I'm close to the spot, but whenever I'm releasing the camera, I always get thrown back in. So that's probably because one or two of the characters are either not at the right spot, or they're not looking at the right direction. So you'll want to adjust that a little bit and then try again, and then at some point it's gonna work. Alright, so these were the three methods. For the rest of the video I'll be showing additional spots for other maps, but that's it for me talking today. I really hope you enjoyed, and please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. See you next time.